gang. Why do you think your soul chose the family you were born into? Was it random or was it a choice?
It was a choice by the power of nature.
Yes, we did kind of touch on this when we talked about yoga is the stopping of the mind's oscillations. And we talked about how the soul chooses its parents. And I'm just going to briefly touch back on some of the things we discussed, which was, okay, yeah, why do we have the oscillations of the mind and where do they come from? And it's also tied to our roots of suffering, which we discussed as samskara. And if you don't remember where samskara comes from, this is our memory that gets carried with us from past lives. If you are believing that your soul reincarnates and comes back to earth in different forms. But why do we come back in different forms? Is it just for funsies? Is there an end? Because then if it's just for funsies, why do we care about yoga chitta vritti nirodha? You know? But actually the goal of each soul is to get to enlightenment. But because we didn't reach in one lifetime, then we come back. So that is the purpose of reincarnation. It's to come back, to get the opportunity to get here. But each time we come back with more of these. My intention today is to give you some practical tools to take home to hopefully identify these in your life and where they're limiting you so that you may release them and possibly find your own way in your own evolution too. Before you were born, your soul made some very specific choices, and I want you guys to think about why you came into the family you came into. Did you come into a family whose parents got divorced? Did you come into a life where your boss criticized you? What are these things? What are the patterns that are repeating in your life? And I want to invite you to think about why they're happening, because they're not happening as a punishment. They're happening as an opportunity for you to evolve. So maybe you came into a house where your parents were divorced, and so the lesson would be,
Don't marry.
no, that's not it. This is bad evolution.
Take care of your love.
Yes, but for yourself. It's so okay. If you're in a family where parents got divorced, what might you experience? It's fear of abandonment. So you might have some scar with attachment, but this doesn't just happen to you here. It came with you from your past life. It's just that your parents were the awakeners. This memory came with you, and they were here to help you to awaken that, which is why your soul chose that family. Your soul knew every single thing that was going to happen in your life. So you knew that what is my fastest path to evolution, and that's why you chose, okay, I'm choosing this family where I get the opportunity to heal my fear of abandonment or rejection that might get awakened by my parents so that I can reach here. Because isn't that what we all want?
And this is an attachment, the suffering from previous.
It can come in any of the roots of suffering, right? Actually, I would say fear of abandonment comes as a fear. It can be fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. Why do we have relationships where the people leave us or cheat on us? Because those moments are painful, right? And we can choose in that moment to be a victim, or we can choose that, oh, what is this trying to teach me? Perhaps it's showing me I need to love myself a little more, and I could have enjoyed that time with that person, but now it needs to move on. Even that simple thought change in your mind changes your vibration. You're just a little bit higher than where you were before. Yeah, so some of the other examples would be unavailable parent. Indian families typically have emotionally unavailable parents, so this is a common one. I know it happens everywhere, but I'm just giving this as an example. Partners abandoned, that lesson could be fear of being alone. How do you, so you have to, I'm not going to tell you what is it trying to teach you, but these are just examples. You have to introspect and decide, when something happens, what is this trying to teach me?
Father, may I ask a question in between?
Yes.
But I didn't understand really. Do I choose the family I'm born in, or something else?
Your soul chose it before you came to Earth.
Okay.
And, okay, so maybe I missed a part of the explanation. So, did you get the part of we come back with past memories and...
Yes.
Okay, right. So I want you to think of Earth as a school. If you were in regular school, what happens when you fail a test?
I need to redo it.
You have to take it again. So that's why your soul comes back,
Oh.
right? You're here to see, can you overcome that fear? Can you pass this? Can you evolve and go higher? If you don't move past this, it doesn't matter that I had a bad relationship with Bala and Bala broke my heart and now I'm never gonna date again. It's that you can't avoid it like that. You attract people at the same level of psychological wounding as yourself. So if it doesn't come back through Bala, it will come back through someone at work. We're constantly receiving and attracting people to show us where are our wounds, because life is abundant. Life wants you to reach here.
That's nice.
Abundant.
Abundant, limitless, like
Infinite.
infinite. Yes.
Yeah,
infinite.
okay.
Thank you.
People and situations.
Yes, people, situations, anything, any judgment you might have. And if you ever, have you ever heard the concept of life is a mirror?
Yes.
And maybe it's confusing.
I already told to Rita that she's a mirror for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
in fact, like we are all mirrors
very
of
much.
each other.
Yeah.
The thing I want to talk about now is when judgment comes up, when you judge somebody, like, oh, she's really fat. That is a mirror for you. Whenever you have a judgment of someone, it's actually there is a part of yourself that you are shaming for that thing. I'll just give you a personal example. So my brother, okay, let's start with myself. I used to be really fat, overweight, lazy, had my own struggles or whatever. I stared at the ceiling. I didn't do anything, make any movements until I decided, okay, now I want to change my life, and now I love sports. I go to the gym all the time. I compete in all of these things.
When
But
was it? At which age?
my whole childhood. Then 2015, I started to get my life together.
So it's when?
No, how was that? 2015, maybe I was 18. Yeah, maybe I was 18. But my brother, he also struggles with eating his emotions. We have, I think, the same psychological woundings. My dad is emotionally unavailable, but not by his own. Nothing wrong with him. I know he loves us, but it's just the circumstances we were dealt. My brother is still evolving. He's still making those choices that I used to make, which was staying in bed all day, eating my feelings, not really dealing with things. And so when I saw him, I would it would really annoy me. I would judge the heck out of him. I would not feel any passion or pity or anything, because why? It was reflecting the old version of myself back to me. Until I had to realize, like, oh, I just have to love him, and he's gonna figure it out later. Because when I judge him, when you judge someone else, you're judging yourself, and that is taking you down the stairs, not up. So, this is why people always say, don't judge.
Sorry, Rana.
Yes.
But why is the society then so full of judgment?
Because they are not
Yeah,
consciousness.
exactly. They're not conscious. So this is the whole point of this today is to open your consciousness. Think of a dark room. You've never been in this room before, and it's dark, and so if you walk in, you're gonna walk into the table. You're gonna hit shit. You don't know what's happening, right? So this is general society, unconscious. They don't know any better because we don't talk about these things really in a general society.
Nobody educates it.
But today, we are shining the flashlight on all of this stuff, on all of your scars, your past memories, the things that are probably for you why you came here, to evolve. Right now, then it will be your responsibility, because we've shined the light. Once you see it, you know where the table is. You know, if you walk into it, that's your fault. You saw where it is, right? We turned the light on. So responsibility is your ability to respond to a situation. I will just give road rage as an example. Let's say you're driving in your car and somebody cuts in front of you and you're like, fuck you. That is a reaction. But what if you didn't get reactive like that, right? And you said, okay, so let's say you're someone who gets reactive. The correction opportunity here, the circumstance was that somebody cut you off in the car, okay? And it awakened your road rage because you were about to get pissed off.
Awakened
Your road rage.
what is that?
Like your irritation.
Reaction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you got irritated that somebody
Okay,
cut you
okay.
off in the road. Let's say that's your samskara, right? So that guy was put there to awaken your road rage, and your opportunity to evolve. You have to look at it as your choice. It was your choice and your responsibility to respond as either angry citizen, whoop burger, or you could. This way, you have the opportunity to catch yourself. Pause. What is this trying to teach me? Right? Maybe patience is the lesson for that guy in the road. And so this is where you have an opportunity to heal all of these things, because that's why we came here. Because the more we heal these things, the more we can reduce the oscillations of the mind and live a yogic lifestyle.
Sometimes it's difficult to find out what it teaches you or what does it want to message you.
Of course, I agree.
Like, it's similar to like everything happens for a reason, but this
Yeah.
is like the reason why it happens.
Yes,
Kind of?
yes. This is everything happens for a reason, but you have to look at it as not as a helpless puppy thinking, "Oh shit, all my money was stolen from me. Everything happens for a reason. Now what to do?" You have to look at it with power and responsibility, because it's like, "Oh, all my money was taken from me. What is this trying to teach me? Where could I have been smarter? Where could I have been more responsible?" It's not being a victim of your life, not being a victim to the circumstance. Yes, because when you were in Earth school, before you came to Earth and you were deciding what are all the things I need to learn, it was your life was designed perfectly. Today, you chose the family you came into for the fastest way to your evolution. What are all the things and people and situations that can come into your life today so that you can learn the fastest and reach here?
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Fastest and maybe the more priority or the more important, most important things. Yeah?
yes, and they come at different stages. I'm not saying that, okay, I've now healed my relationship pattern because I had a shit relationship with Bala and he broke my heart. And, let's say I realized, oh, I just needed to love myself more. I'm not saying after you heal this one, you're perfect, do, life is good. No, another one's going to show up because there are so many. There are always going to be these samskaras because we have come with years and years of this. And we can only evolve them one at a time. Imagine we had to evolve all of them. That's really hard. It's one at a time. So when we see these things happening, the tool that I want you to take away is like, okay, some of the ways this can show up first is anxiety, is a reactive behavior. Getting mad at someone is a reactive behavior. Of course, you're human. I'm not saying you cannot get mad, you cannot get anxious, but the point is to notice. When are you getting anxious? When are you getting mad? And how can you respond to that in the future? It would be to pause and then ask yourself, why is this in my movie of my life? What is this trying to teach me? And then you'll be able to notice the pattern and hopefully change your reaction to that, which is your ability to respond. It is your responsibility for everything. Yes, I have some questions. Well, like, what are, if anybody wants to share, what are some repeating patterns you might have noticed in your life?
Okay, I can share.
Yes.
That's a repeating pattern.
Yeah, this is a repeating pattern, but
I just
That's
know
amazing.
that she thinks very fast.
No, you. That
Yeah.
means that you are really fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I think of my past life and my ex-boyfriends, it was very interesting. I had a boyfriend like with some particular characters, and then like we were like, I don't know, even not boyfriend, but dating someone. But then we like breaking up, and then I started dating another guy, and it was a guy like which was completely opposite to this one. And we were like dating for some time, and the next one was actually very similar to the previous one. And I noticed how it was like going this way, and it was very interesting.
Yeah, that is.
We need to settle in the middle.
Yes, but it was like either one extreme or the other extreme. But after this one, I was like, no, I have enough of these qualities, and they came against the one with the same qualities as this one. It was like really like this.
Are you able to get more specific? What are the qualities?
I don't know. The one was like, let's say,
Billionaire.
nice, would be nice.
That would be nice. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. First, it would be some very ignorant, and the one who loves himself. The other one will be extremely caring and like way too nice guy.
Wow, these are totally opposite.
Yeah, who is like
extremes.
caring too much of me and I'm getting bored. And they're like, no, like I don't want such. I want like to be attracted to him. And there comes again the one who like likes himself the most in his life, but like in a negative terms.
Yeah.
And then I have enough, and I have the caring one. And like I think this was the patterns, which were like, but always like going to some extremes.
And what do you think you had to learn from both of those?
I had to learn to love first myself and choose myself. I don't know, like to choose myself first, and based on my values, have a relationship with a guy.
Yeah, that's a very common one. A lot of us don't love ourselves enough, and then we outsource it to our boyfriends or our partners or our mom and dad. Why don't they love me? And then they don't react in the way that you want, and you find a way to say I'm not good enough. Self-worth is one of the most common wounds that people have. It can show up in love. It can show up in work, starting a business. Like, I'm scared to start being a yoga teacher. That comes from self-worth. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm articulating the tool that you can take away. And the example I will give is, let's say a lot of women today say, oh, I was dating a narcissist. That guy was a narcissist. It didn't work out. How many of you have heard this? Right? All the hands are up. Okay, so the thing
I
you
even
need...
met a psychopath. Psychopath. People also say, I was dating a psychopath.
What?
That's what you meant to say? I think it's similar when people say narcissist.
Yeah, but some people are.
Yeah,
You don't realize until after.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that these people aren't narcissists. Don't worry, I'm not defending them.
Because I was dating a guy and he was really talking a lot about that he loves to see something on fire. And then he wants to burn something. See how it's burning, and then he wanted to hide until the firefighters came. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to date you anymore. So this was really a psychopath.
Yeah. People that like lighting things on fire.
This guy was insane. This was really a psychopath.
I believe you. That sounds a bit
Crazy.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. No judgment.
We listen and we don't.
Exactly.
What is good for you?
Yes, but when these things happen, we have to check in with ourselves. why did my soul want me to have this engagement with a narcissist? Because usually these interactions are painful, right? Like, I dated someone who I would describe as a narcissist, and it was a lot of pain for me, and I stayed with it. I stayed in that relationship for 3 years, but because of that, I'm here. I learned so many things about myself. I had to love myself. I had to choose my own growth and priorities and boundaries, and all of these things came from a lack of self-respect. So I'm just speaking for my own example. But you would then ask, why did my soul want to be in an interaction with this kind of person? What is the lesson here? And sometimes you may ask after you pause and you're like, oh, what is this trying to teach me? The answer may not come immediately, but just keep asking yourself. It's the idea is to get into a practice of asking yourself so that it becomes unconscious competence, so that this is your natural reaction when things are happening. Because when you don't think like that, you fall automatically into victim mentality, and then you continue to have these fluctuations of the mind. And the goal is to get here. So how do we do that big stuff? And by the way, you cannot outrun the thing your soul needs to heal. So if you didn't learn that lesson in one relationship, it will come back in the next one in somehow. And I'm not saying that relationships are perfect. People need to know how. You need to understand maybe your partner's woundings, and they need to understand yours, and how can you guys communicate about that? Because those are also tools. But you both have to be willing to look at it like, what is this trying to teach me? And by doing all this, you step into being a co-creator with the universe, because the universe is abundant. The universe wants you to experience abundance. And when you take responsibility of your actions, your reactions, and your thought patterns, and the learnings, you then get to co-create with the universe what you want. And we did talk at the beginning about the reticular activating system when we did the exercise for how many red things, how many blue things you see in the room.
How many red things?
So when you take responsibility, then then know that you're in control of what you want to create. And I'm not saying that things that are not. No, I'm not saying, oh, this is magically gonna make you get everything you want. Sometimes you're not gonna get what you want, but it's then still your reaction to that thing that is gonna move you forward. Because maybe there's something better in store, and that thing still needed to teach you patience, or whatever it was, redirection, burnt toast theory. All of the things come into play. So I just want to ask now, what are your takeaways from what I have said? Because I wasn't sure if I was going to get the point across without it being confusing.
I wrote with big letters, keep asking yourself.
Mm.
What needs,
So what is this trying to teach me? Then you can't outrun the wounds your soul needs to heal. I really like it because I think it's really important. I like the thing with the roots of suffering, like that I attract people and situations to overcome my roots of suffering.
Yes, and when we look at those, it makes it easier to do this and come here. Yeah. So if I had to give you the tools in like a takeaway box for you to just remember, it would be in a reactive situation, and everything is a reaction. What do? You pause and you think, oh, I learned it this way. What a pleasure. Like, oh, look at I'm so grateful for this opportunity to see my wounding. Somebody, my wounding, the thing I need to heal. So somebody stole my money. Oh, thank you for showing me that this thing hurt me. What do I need to, what is it trying to teach me? Maybe that I need to be more generous. You know? Okay, maybe that was not the best example, but let's say Maxi breaks my heart and I'm crying and I could cry and have a pity party. Of course you cry, but then you have to not cry for 5 years, just maybe for an hour.
Maybe one day.
Okay, one day just for you, Maxi. And then you think, why what a pleasure that I have this opportunity to look at this abandonment wound of Maxi leaving me.
And to maybe go.
Yeah, so actually, like, we're grateful for the opportunity to see our wounds, see our samskara, and that's what we wanted to identify today, to shine the light on our wounds, and that it's actually a privilege, and we should be grateful to see the wounds so that we can follow our soul's purpose to our highest evolution. Yes. I know I've been repeating like a parrot, but I just wanted to sink in. And yes, that's it.
Thank you, Mrs.
Beautiful.
Prada.
Yeah, I didn't take the full time.
It doesn't matter. Time is just a comparison. Life is happening for you.
Yes, life is happening for you, for your highest evolution. Universe wants you to win. Universe wants you to be here. We're all in different journeys to the same destination. We came in with different wounds. It's not like, oh, why does Margarita have the love of her life and I don't? We came in with different wounds. We came to the different family. Why was I born into a family with emotionally unavailable dad? Maybe I needed to learn to love myself, right? And then you'll also notice as you start to heal these wounds, because we are all energetically connected, you will see changes in your family and the people around you generationally. I didn't know how to explain it, but I started doing this work, and then I noticed my mom and dad changing, and it's just weird. There's nothing, I'm grateful, there's nothing to explain, but it happens. So you do the work for your family.